Okay, David, here is your verbal feedback for your draft, for your definition draft. And in these verbal feedback videos, I'm just covering the biggest issues you might have to worry about right now. That doesn't mean your paper's perfect, so be sure to look at the rubric and look at all the different grading criteria. But from what I'm seeing now, it's coming along really well, and I think you're making some nice moves so far. I have a few comments, and we'll go through your paper here. I just noticed this. It's not the biggest deal in the world, but this is English 112, not 121. So you just want to fix that. I like that you have a title, but it's kind of boring. Sorry. And so I'd love to see you perhaps try a more engaging title. I think that could really help. I would say avoid we, us, and our, but especially the we right now, because I'm not really, for instance, a part of the group you're talking to. I don't really have too many thoughts about anglers, really. And so I think that if you make this more objective, it'll be better. But I really like this intro, the way it's reading, though. You're setting the scene. It's fun. It's like a story. And I like what you're doing here, too. I think that's working well in kind of this thesis idea. You know, you're really defining clearly right here. And I think that's working well for you. Oh, ignore that. Okay, so I'm reading along. I'm liking it. You are transitioning well between different paragraphs here. You transition well here. And so I see this one. I see this when you say that many of them are out to have a good time, and I immediately wonder what's wrong with that. And so I wonder, you do talk about this here, but just this phrase kind of was off-putting. I thought, have a good time. Because the first thing I think is there's nothing wrong with that. So you might want to try something different there. Article titles always go in quotes, not italics. So I've got one other time I'll point that out to you. Okay, this is a really intense bit. And this is kind of what you're proving. This is exactly what you're saying. So I'd like you to see you talk about it a lot more and really hit it home. This is so important. And so... talking more about the fact, building this up, I think could really help. Right here, just do a comma instead of a colon. I can see why you did the colon, but it doesn't quite work in that situation. So I wanted you to maybe talk a little bit more, engage more fully with your counter argument and concession here. You've got the counter argument, it's in here, and that's really good, but just engage more fully with it. This is really good stuff you have in here with your own personal experience. I was going to ask you to say more, but then you did go on and say more, so I thought that was good. This VCRs are it's stupid, but they're the actual machine, so maybe dump his tapes or his VHSs. Just silly little thing. This is a typo, just case of. I didn't know if you'd catch it or not. Here you want to do quotation marks instead of italics. Okay, so the biggest thing I see missing is maybe kind of the so what, who cares. You mention it here a little bit, but it seems like you end your page so fast, or your paper so fast. So I'd like to see more so what, who cares, along with more of that engagement with that one quotation. That's really the point of your whole paper. And I think that'd be nice. Right now I see you, so a regular research paper is kind of, trying to figure out how to draw this. It's usually pretty well balanced, and so you have all the sides of it are arguing. But with yours, I see it kind of tilting just a little bit more towards your argument isn't as clear as it could be. So I'd like to see you, make it a little more of an argument and a little more arguing. And I think the so what, who cares would help with that, along with building up that response to the quote. Okay, and then your citation page, you would say works cited, and it would not be bold. It would be plain. And then you want to make sure it's in alphabetical order by this first bit. Okay? All right, so again, look at the rubric, and if you have any questions, please let me know.